I've been playing F1 25 for the past week, and I can confidently say this game looks and plays amazing. With an overwhelmingly positive review score on the Steam store page, could this really be the best F1 game in the past era? In this video, I'm gonna give you a quick rundown of all the good and bad I've encountered in the past week, so that by the end of this video, you will know, should you buy this game right now, or is this another wait for a discount kind of deal? First of all, let's talk handling. Now, in my previous F1 24 video, I've talked about the back-end changes the devs have made to the physics and the suspension model in the game. Last year, Codemasters tried to implement dynamic suspensions into the game, but failed miserably at launch. Though the underlying system was good, a lot of the in-game values were wrong, and it gave us a game with very lousy handling. But it did lay the foundation for something greater. F1 25. On first impression, it reminds me a lot of the older F1 games. Some of you might remember the glory days from 2019 or 2020. In F1 24, you could do all kinds of gnarly shit with your steering. You could flick all day long, and the worst of it is the car would respond well to it. You would actually go faster by doing a move such as this. The car handled like a shopping trolley, and racing with one kind of felt like a joke. The front end was so sensitive, you could make multiple direction changes in a row on the same straight, and the car would just do it because it felt weightless. Now, it might sound cliche when I say this, but trust me when I say driving an F1 25 actually feels like driving a real F1 car. Now, I've never driven an F1 car in real life, but I can confidently say at low speed, the car is sluggish. If you've ever assisted a real F1 race in the current era, then you'll notice that they do kind of struggle at low speed. Kind of like what you would expect from this generation of cars, especially since you'll be going too slow for aerodynamics or ground effect to kick into play. But once it does, it's on rails. In general, the game is a lot slower, and that's a good thing. The braking zones are longer because of the removal of engine braking from last year. This means trail braking is a must if you want to slow the car down and make it rotate. There's a lot more micro corrections or little inputs that you can do mid-corner to correct or guide the car in the right direction. And how does all this impact racing? And now, if you've been following my channel for the past year, then you know that I partake in some serious league racing in a lot of my free time. And you won't believe what they actually brought back this year. Two-stop races. And this is excellent news for league racing. Tire wear is a lot more brutal, probably 1.5 times or twice as much as last year. You can feel the difference as the tires start to go off. You could decide to push flat out, or maybe go for a crazy undercut, and then boxing another time, trying to use your tire offset to make the strategy work and gain track positions. Or you could play the long game and be conservative and try to go for the one stop. What's it gonna be? This year's game allows a lot more flexibility in terms of strategy compared to last year, where every race was some variation of medium to hard or hard to mediums. And while I'm talking about strategies, let's talk about Dirty Air. Contrary to popular beliefs, Dirty Air actually improves racing. It makes things 10 times more exciting. Just this week, I went racing in the Creator Series around Spain, and oh boy was it carnage. The understeer is absolutely mad when you're trailing another car, and the closer you get, the stronger you're gonna feel the loss of downforce. A lot of people were caught off guard by the power of Dirty Air. It's actually a lot more realistic than you think. Accurate simulation of engine temps and the effect of Dirty Air actually evolves as the race goes on. I actually have a video planned on the effects of Dirty Air and what it means for league racing, so stay tuned for that one. Next up, I want to talk graphics and other minor changes that you might not have noticed in-game. Path tracing is absolutely gorgeous, and I think this is probably the biggest graphical step up we've had in the recent F1 games. Even with path tracing or ray tracing off, the games looks absolutely amazing. There's 4 new LiDAR scan tracks and a total of 3 reverse tracks. That's 7 new tracks in total. Wet weather looks absolutely amazing. That combined with the audio rework they've implemented this year makes for an absolute great experience. If you set the onboard sounds to cinematic and you drive through a tunnel, just take a listen at the reverb. Crash sound effects have also been drastically improved. They sound so much scarier.
This combined to the fact that all of the F1 drivers that you can play as will speak to the engineer at the start and end of each and every session.
Okay, radio check, radio check.
Yeah, copy, radio check.
These are all tiny details that really bring the game to life.
Happy with that.
Another thing that caught me off guard this year is actually how aggressive the AI has become. It's a gigantic
Okay,
leap
let's have a
compared to
check,
last year.
please.
I was
Radio
racing
check.
around Brazil against the AI when Verstappen went for a dive bomb around the outside into turn 4. They race a lot harder, they go for more opportunistic moves, they defend harder, they squeeze you like a normal human would, and they will absolutely eat you if they feel like you're too slow.
That was actually good defense from the bot.
As the race evolves, gaps start to form organically between the AI. So I'm happy to announce AI DRS trains are no longer a thing. Yes. So if you're someone who plays a lot of career mode or my team mode, then this year's game is probably a must buy for you. Breaking Point also seems to reuse a lot of gameplay elements from my team and last year's career mode overhaul, though the story mode kind of still feels like people are just gonna play it once and then move on. Good thing is, once you wrap up Breaking Point storyline, you can jump directly into my team mode or career mode with the Breaking Point team. Now, I'm not gonna spoil the story or anything, but if we look at the gameplay perspective, it's pretty much the same thing as the first 2 iterations of Breaking Point. Defend against this AI for X amount of laps, or overtake this driver before X laps of the race. I'm currently halfway through the storyline at the time of making this video. Though the overall experience is great, it just didn't really leave a mark. That, combined with the fact that even at the hardest difficulty, if you're a seasoned player, it's probably not going to be challenging enough for you. I'm playing on expert level, which is the highest difficulty possible for Breaking Point 3, and I still find myself gapping the AI by 2 or 3 seconds a lap sometimes. And this nullifies the stake in a lot of these racing scenarios. Now for my team, I've heard from a lot of people that it is actually a big step up compared to last year. Though I have yet to make the dive myself, so I cannot speak from my personal experience. Though, if that's something you'd like to see, let me know in the comments below. Online lobbies are still the same, complete chaos, but I was there! I was there! Though now as the host, you can kick anybody without an actual cooldown compared to last year. Online events are still a joke if you are a content creator or if you host any kind of league racing. Trust me when I say being only able to invite one person at a time is a huge pain in the ass. Not to mention the fact that you have to reopen the friends list and scroll all the way down the list again every time you want to invite somebody. Like I said, major pain in the ass. Now there's a brand new game mode that's been added in F1 25 this year, and that is Invitation. It's kind of like a dungeon or raid type of game mode, but in an F1 game. You team up with other players to take on the rest of the grid, which is made up of AI drivers, and you have to reach certain goals as a team, and I kind of dig the idea.
Plus it includes some cool wildcards that actually gives you an incentive to improve or remove assists.
Though I kind of wish they included this when F1 World was first introduced to Formula 1 games. Hey, I'm not gonna complain about free content, and it's actually funny as hell to bully the AI with other human players on track. And that brings us to the final point. Just how good is F1 25? I'd give it a solid 8.5 out of 10. Now you should really know I'm a picky person, and that is actually a really high score for me. Despite the graphics improvement, and dare I say, the goated handling system, plus everything else I've mentioned in this video, there's still some bugs to iron out. The broadcast safety car still shuffles the grid order randomly. That's not to mention the unintuitive menu in F1 World. But I will say this, Codemasters and EA have really outdone themselves this year, and that is worth some praise. So, I'll tip my hat. Thanks for watching. If you haven't already, consider subscribing to the channel so you don't miss any future uploads. Enjoy the great game. I'll see you very soon. Bye bye.